Hello gorgeous people who love to scrap. Just wanted to share another gorgeous altered item that I'd like to share with you all. This particular item is a shoe box that I have altered. I will be making a collection soon called the Creamy Dreamy collection, and it's really romantic French inspired collection for the romance people, or you know, it's like a wedding type thing for like lovers and stuff like that. So a lot of the items that I will be showing you in the next few weeks will be a vintage romance, France, Paris inspired altered items, and this is the first item that I have made in this collection. I have plans to make more items in this collection for myself to keep. I love the soft colors that's incorporated here, and this is the first item that I have altered, and I would like to share this with you all. As I mentioned, it's just a plain regular shoe box, and I've painted with a white paint first. The actual color of this particular box before I painted was blue, but now that I've painted it over with the cream color, you can't really see it. So it was originally blue, and then you can sort of like see the blue hints underneath here, but not very much at all. It wasn't really originally like an aqua light blue sort of color, and then I painted with a white base coat, and then I spray paint with a cream color on top. And then what I did after that, everything was dried, I adhere some calico, some cream calico fabric at the back here, and then on this particular part I ruffled some muslin fabric. Just did a gather stitch on my sewing machine, and it gathered this particular muslin fabric, and it gathered, and I just adhered it with hot glue all the way around the box there, as you can see. So I just gave it a really ruffly look, which I love, and it's just so feminine and really soft. And this collection is called the Dreamy Creamy because it's cream and it's really dreamy, like sort of you know, French inspired. And on top here, this particular part at the top here, I have sewn to a piece of calico first, and then I hot glued that particular part onto the back here once I have painted the bag. So I've painted the whole box, and then I've cut down a big piece of calico, and once I've, you know, measured out the actual size that I want it to cover, I think it started from here to about here, and all this bit here I left open so that I can hot glue lace and knitting and stuff like that afterwards. But once I've cut the actual calico, I went on to layering out what I wanted to, you know, to be on the actual box. So this particular little part here is actually sewn, and then this part here is stitched. So I cut out a piece of calico, and then I popped on top the lace pieces that I want to sit on there. So I add this piece of lace on top here, and then at the back here is just some knitting from some clothing that I recycled. I went to a flea market and purchased a whole heap of secondhand clothes that I cut apart. Anything that had knitting, anything that had sequins, I purchased a whole lot for like $1 each. So I didn't take a before photo of the clothing before I altered it. Sorry about the noise there. Before I altered it, but I cut out just random pieces of fabric and tulle, and just stuck a whole piece across the back here, and then some netting like this particular part here across the bottom part, and then I staggered this cut out doily. So this like is the edge of a doily there, and from that particular doily I cut out two flower motifs, one here and one here, and then I stitched that onto the background, zigzag stitch there and here. And this particular part and this part here is a separate another separate muslin piece, and then I stamped this using the I think 7 Gypsy stamp. I can't remember which one it is exactly, but I'll put it down below in the description box. That was half the heart. That was the postcard stamp, and this are the smaller images from the stamp also. And to get this particular words here, I don't have any stamp sets or anything like that says Paris, so I've actually just went over with a pen and then stitched all the letters onto there by using my sewing machine, and then I held that down with some glue and then sewn over the top, just a glue stick so that it doesn't move anywhere. And so I went over with stitching there, some zigzag stitching in cream here which you can't really see. And then after I've adhered all that, I went on to making my really dreamy roses here. And this is a rolled rose using the muslin fabric there, and I've just frayed all the edges. It's actually 2 layers here, 2 raw layers. One's higher, one's lower than the other one, so it just gives it a bit of dimension and texture here. And then this particular one, I just gathered some lace and then rolled the center here and added one of those pearl centers that I used, that I bought from SI Crafters in the center there. And this particular one here is actually made out of netting. It's a softer kind of netting. Just twisted and went around and then just hot glued onto a piece of felt and then glued that on. I just added a flat back pearl in the center here. At the part here, at the front part here, I tied a really big large bow here with some soft netting and some muslin fabric which I have tea dyed. A lot of the bits and pieces here I forgot to mention I have tea dyed also. This particular lace, not lace, the doily here, as well as the fringing at the front here, the muslin there, as well as this flower at the back of the lace flower here, and this particular muslin I have tea dyed. So it just gives it that really romantic, creamy sort of look. And I've just tied a bow here, hot glued that onto the box here, and I left the fringing really long, as you can see there, because it's just absolutely gorgeous. And just added a little button on the side there. These appliques here I actually purchased from the flea market from a wedding veil that I bought for $5, and this is the wedding veil here. It's a beautiful creamy colour and I got it for $5. So I'm not sure what happened to the wedding dress, but this was a veil that I just purchased by itself. And I've cut up this particular part here to line the bottom of the box, which I will show you shortly. But this particular veil had lots and lots of appliques sewn onto all the corners of this particular veil, and I've went and taken every single bit off, and I've tea dyed some of them, and some of them I've left cream, and these are the cream ones. As you can see here, I've glued that particular part on there and one here, and they're just absolutely gorgeous, and it accented the lid really well. That's a close-up of all the flowers there, and they're just gorgeous flowers. I made every single one, so I'm really happy with how they come out, and the lid is just absolutely gorgeous. And this is what I've made this box to hold. This is all the wedding trim appliques that I have purchased also from the flea market, as well as the wedding dress that I purchased from the thrift store. I have uploaded a vid on that, and I've chopped a little bit of all the appliques already and popped them in here, because that's what I made this box for, is to store all my appliques. And I've lined the box with the velvet fabric, as I mentioned to you guys before, with the not the velvet, the satin fabric from the veil. I've lined that with that fabric, and then I went and used some of my vintage music notes and just glued them down all the way across there, and I just torn them in random places, and as you can see that it's sort of like tearing, and it gave it a really distressed sort of vintage sort of feel there. And I just absolutely think that's a really good effect. And I distressed all the parts that's, you know, coming away in vintage photos, and I just left everything really rough and tattered, because I wanted to give it a worn, distressed look there. And this is the rest of the applique that I got off the wedding veil of this particular part here, and it's a lovely ivory cream colour. But this is the colour you get that once you tea dye it, and as you can see, you can totally see a colour variance there, and it's a beautiful darker cream colour there, and this is just your normal cream colour. It's absolutely gorgeous, and that's just normal white. So I hope you guys like my altered box, and next I would like to share with you all in the same collection, an altered little dress form that I have altered also recently. And that's what it is, what it looks like there. This particular little dress form I purchased from the thrift store. She was kind of like retro looking. She was wearing this really ugly retro hot pink dress here, and I've just cut it apart, so that's what she was looked like before she was wearing the dress. And she was actually a hot pink or purple, like that color, the timber. And oh, I totally hated the color, but you know, I thought I could do something with her, and this is what I have come up with. And she's absolutely so gorgeous looking also. I've painted the purple color with like a dark brown base color, and then I use crackle medium, and then just a white acrylic paint on top, and it gave it a crackle effect up here as well as the base. In some parts, if you look carefully, it's got a bit of pink showing through because the purple was a really strong color. As you can see there, some of it kind of leaked through the paint, so I don't know what kind of paint they used, but it's really strong, and even leaked through the double layers that I had painted there. But it's underneath the skirt, and I didn't really bother with that whatsoever. So once I stripped her down, she was actually foam underneath, so I lined her with calico, which is like it's very similar to canvas, but it's not canvas, it's more cotton fabric. So I've just lined the whole body with the calico as my base, and then I went on to designing her gown for her. And what she's actually wearing is some vintage doilies that I have, you know, that I got from my stash, and just dressed her up. So I've just cut parts of a doily and made it her collar there. After I popped some cream ones inside here also, and some white doilies from the corners, like the edges of a doily, like here. Made it a neck part. Down here is just some tulle netting, another doily which I've just slit a hole in the middle and cut it so that I can slip over her and pop it around the dress here. So it made her really creamy and dreamy for my collection, and it's just lovely colours to match the box that I have altered and showed you guys on. And she's actually a jewelry holder also, so she's got a little hook here that I can hang something off it, and I've added these little pearl beads here and on this particular side here. So as her it's like a coat or a shawl. This part here is also a really large, not large, but a small size doily, which I've just looped through the hooks here to hold the jewelries up, and it just gave her that, you know, pageant sort of look, and I just love that effect on there. So on her choker, I've just tied a black ribbon and just hung a little bead, crystal like bead off there as a necklace. Added a gorgeous butterfly metal charm there with some rhinestones in the center. And cascading down here, I have made a little bouquet of flowers flowing down her dress here. It's like she is attending a pageant there. At the back here is just some feathers, and then just some pearl sprays there. This is a cream curly rose that I have sprayed with my homemade glimmer mist using the Vintage Photos Distressing, the Re-Inker, sorry, the Vintage Photos Re-Inker there. Just some 3.5 centimeter rose by Iron Roses. Another one here, but I have sprayed it with the same homemade glimmer mist there. Just gave it like a tattered sort of look there, the colour. Just some Iron Roses green leaves up here and down here. I do apologise guys if I'm out of the frame. I'm sort of looking at my dress form without realising on the screen that I'm out of range. But before I adhere all the flower, I've just tied a bow across here, so it acts as her belt also, and just to accent the flower here. So a large bow at the back there. Added some cherry blossoms there, some black skeleton leaf down here, and just some really teeny tiny closed rose buds there, and some semi-open rose buds there also. So I hope you guys like my altered dress form, and from retro really ugly looking pink and orange into shabby chic creamy dreamy little dress form doll there. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys like my altered projects. Do look for future vids that I will be sharing with you in the Dreamy Creamy collection. I'm really happy with how this box has come out, and it looks absolutely gorgeous, storing all my wedding trims in here. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you guys again soon.